Welcome to the Friend Zone.
I'm in the zone.
My name is Dustin.
I'm Francesca, also known as Hey Fran Hey.
My name is Assante.
This is the Friend Zone. Let's start the show.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah. It's another day, another week, another month, another May in 2016. So don't slump. We gon' do it right. Ride slow, ride high in the friend zone. You gon' do it one more time in the friend zone. Yeah, no Fran singing, but you got your boy D-Rock and Assante speaking and slinging. Spoken word for the big bird. Say it one more time when you got a rhyme or a dime. The number 10, Big Mac bitches. Tell them how you feel in the friend zone.
Did you say Big Mac bitches?
I don't know what the fuck I said. You know how people, they act like they conscious and then they talking about nothing. It's like, what did you just say? So I said something about Big Bird and I was like, I got to run with Big Bird.
You are funny.
Welcome to the Friend Zone, the episode that is going to start May off, the episode that is not about Beyonce, so I don't care about it now. The episode that, no, that's fucked up. We're not talking about Beyonce this week, so I'm like less interested. Oh, damn, you ruined it for the people. Beyonce's actually here. No, I'm just playing.
Imagine. I wish I could do her voice.
Right.
Don't try. You know someone's like, no, that was bad. It's like, all right, we was just playing. But just kidding. We're going to get it popping, get it started here in the Friend Zone. Dustin, how you feeling this week?
I feel fantastic. I'm really happy to be here.
You blessed and highly favored?
Always, but we're also going to talk about Beyonce. We always talk about Beyonce. She's always relevant to any conversation that can be had. So if I had 10,000 tongues, it wouldn't be enough to speak about how relevant Beyonce is. I just want to let that be known. It's a blessing.
I'm not an adult.
Lemonade, spike it. Lemonade, don't try it, bike it. If you go that way, dike it. If you got 3 wheels, then trike it. Thought I forgot? Yeah, right, I'm biking it. That's back in it with my accent in it. Guess what, baby? Put 50 Cent in it. I'm a machine. I go right in between and then I push. And you pull. And I push.
That line just
and you
took me
pull.
out.
And I push. And you pull. If you a real freak, I'm rubbing your skull.
There you go. There you go.
It's just, it took over.
Had to get you a piece. I get it. I understand.
I don't know what happened because it was just spontaneous. The spontaneity was all
It happens. It happens.
It was like a Grammy night moment. Like we was all together, you know, the night of the Grammys drinking champagne. You know what I'm saying?
Champagne.
So,
Yes.
last week's episode, we discussed Beyonce's Lemonade project.
Hold up. I don't love you like I love you. But I love you.
We basically shared what we thought about it, as well as the different references that we picked up on by watching it and listening. And a lot of you, as always, had a lot to say. So who stood out to you guys?
Assante.
Actually, a couple of y'all stood out. I'm not going to call y'all out. I responded to one in the notes, and I don't have it in front of me. But I wanted to take the time out to say R.I.P. to Prince, because we did not address it on last week's episode, but we did address it in our everyday lives. Like, we went to...
Yeah, that was the weird part. We actually were talking about it before we started recording, and then once we started recording, we just stuck to the lemonade conversation. But
I mean, it's Prince. He was on our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. You know what I'm saying? We went to the movies and seen Purple Rain, cried like...
Oh, I wanted to go see it. I heard that they extended it now for AMC.
I might go see it again, actually.
I have
saw it.
to.
It was
I've
so
never seen it
good.
in the big theaters, obviously.
I know,
so that's
why,
like a big treat.
That's why I was hell-bent on going.
How was it? Amazing?
It was amazing.
It was so
Oh my God.
It was so crazy to actually
and then
sit
everyone
there.
Inside obviously like loves him.
Dancing
so.
and
And so
shit
since
up.
he died, right, I sat in the front of the theater, so I had to look up to watch it.
Dustin, I'm so mad at you.
I did. So I sat in the front because he did. So I felt like the only right way to watch it, like if I'm looking at him, I said, well, let me look up. You know what I'm saying? So that was it.
When you said the only right way to watch, it makes me think of how Wendy Williams on her show, on her right, she always has the pictures and she try to look up and talk to them every time. She's like, all right, person. When she looks to, y'all are going to y'all going to listen and be like, what is he talking about? But on Wendy's show, when she is talking to someone during Hot Topics or whatever, the picture is enlarged on her right. She be trying to talk to them like, here's my lesson for you. It's like, Wendy, they not there. What are you doing? But,
I'm mad you brought up
but for the
Wendy.
movies and Prince, like, that's understandable. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was devastated.
Wendy.
To be honest, I still haven't even gotten over it because it's just so shocking.
It still don't feel real.
It doesn't, because he was larger than life, so
It's
it
like-
just doesn't seem. What people were saying, like a world without Prince and Michael, is just like what? A music world without them is tough.
It's true. Think
Yeah.
about the last time you probably saw her or the Prince cutting up somewhere, and then it's not gonna happen no more. It's like, what?
Yeah, and he was because when was this? Maybe 2 years ago. He actually met with Maya. Shameless Maya, yeah, and totally changed her life creatively. She actually is the photographer who took the picture of his last album, The Artificial Age.
That's so dope. Shout out to
Maya's
Shameless Maya.
photography. So her,
Wow.
yeah. So him giving her that opportunity, changed her life. Obviously, number one, and that was just impactful for all of us because we were like, it's Prince, like. You know Prince now. And just hearing the stories about him, like how he was actually like a really nice person and wanting to help other Black creatives. He was constantly like, searching the internet for young Black creatives. That's how he found her on YouTube. He found Coco and Breezy, who designed those third eye glasses.
Those are my friends. Shout out to Coco
Right,
and Breezy.
Coco and Breezy. So it's like that was his thing. And now you're starting to find out all these charities that he had been donating to, like Black Men in Tech, like music programs. Like he was, to me, that's like a real humanitarian that they don't necessarily do it for show. Because I don't remember him talking about any of these things. It wasn't about like photo ops or it was just like, I want to help the world. Which seemed, from all the people I know that knew him personally, seemed like a reoccurring theme for him. Like, how can I make the world better? Right?
Just want to take that moment out.
Yeah,
Prince.
we had to.
Still
Because
Prince
thinking
made
about
some
him.
good ass music
He
too.
was
He made
amazing.
some
Beast.
good music. Like it's not
Consistently.
debatable. Everybody likes it.
And he was, if you think about it, he was, unless I'm missing, but isn't he like the first artist that did the whole visual album concept, like Purple Rain, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that was more of like a soundtrack to the film type thing, like a musical score type
You
thing.
think? Because to me it seemed,
I don't think
Well, no,
it was
because
like,
it was
Well, no, 'cause
such
he
a
always-
huge part of the movie. Was like it was. Because the soundtrack to me usually makes me feel like it's like a compilation
Right.
of artists, but with him it was
it was like
he,
a score.
right. He scored
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how he does a lot of his, because he's done
Because
a
they
bunch
fit,
of visuals.
Because the thing is, the songs in Purple Rain fit the storyline. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just songs that were underneath to give the scenes life.
Right.
It
I
was like
wonder when it's
actually
coming to
part of the
Broadway.
storyline of like, how he wanted her, but she had another man and his. I don't know. I
The
thought
whole
it
thing
was
with
cool.
the family and I would die for you
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah,
like it was like the original Lemonade.
Don't hurt her.
And you know
Mom,
what?
Dad, don't hurt her.
You are funny.
Stop.
And that was the crazy part because last week, before we talked about Lemonade came out, and then we went to the movies to see Prince, like as like our break from Lemonade.
Right.
And then, back in the Lemonade world. But it was still like Prince really put a lot of shit in perspective for that too. He's inspired some of your faves because I feel like a lot
All
of
of
people
your
don't know
faves.
their musical history. But that's for y'all to decide because I heard people say that they didn't know who or what Prince was popular for, and I really felt like I was being trolled.
That's how
People
you
were
get
saying
blocked.
that? No.
Thank God
I'm
for
not going to
them.
name nobody's name on
Please
here because
don't.
I'm not giving anybody any free
Is
promotions.
it who I think it is?
I'll tell you after the show who it was that was saying that shit.
Was
But
it
it was
like a
crazy.
blogger?
They used to live in Harlem.
No, they white though. I'll say
Oh,
that.
okay.
Not that I don't love white people.
I thought it
You're
was.
like,
I
But it
thought
was
Disclaimer.
just funny because, he had a point that he was trying to make about black people crying over Prince and shit and then not knowing songs and singles. And I'm just like, come on, bro. I don't know what black person you talk to that don't know, but Come on.
Prince.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Right. You know who I'm
And
talking
I hope
about.
he didn't say it in front of the person that I'm thinking that
Yeah,
he
he
probably
did.
said it in front of.
He most certainly did.
Okay. Anyway.
Fran, did you see any comments that stuck out to you?
I did. Well, before we just leave Prince, we love you.
We love you, Prince.
Right.
We know that you up there listening, and hopefully you're
Thank you for changing
and
our
judging,
lives.
still talking about people.
still laughing and
Yep.
being shady and
And you
awesome.
know, Patty LaHelle was tweeting videos of Prince like performing, and there's a couple of ones that she posted of him, like it was close-up shots of him playing the guitar. He was like so passionate, and it did something to me because I was like, could you imagine a life where you really found that thing that gives you that rush, and then you pursued it and executed it amazingly well, because obviously we all love him, and then he's successful. He's like changed music. Like imagine what that feels like.
It's like getting
You can see
somebody
it
to
in
go
his
home
face.
with you every night of your life. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of your life, you get somebody new and fine to come home with you every night. That's what it feels
Only
like.
Dustin. But yes, so we love you, Prince, and thank you for being you and allowing us to be here.
Yes.
Right? I'm so thankful that I got to actually experience
Yes.
Prince.
Yes. Prince.
And MJ
And Michael Jackson.
and Whitney
And Luther.
Listen, we were alive when Madonna, Mariah,
Yep.
MJ, Prince, all these people were on the chart.
Mm-hmm.
Even Aretha, because a rose is still a rose.
Of all songs.
Out of all
That was like her
songs.
last hit. That was like her last hit.
Do you remember award shows when these were the artists that were performing? Oh my God.
Yes.
Anyway,
Ooh,
I
remember
love a
the
good
Diddy
tribute.
performances?
Oh,
Diddy
my
performances used to
God.
be the bomb.
he used to
They
have
did.
like
The choir
elephants
and
and light
shit.
shows and
circus niggas on like stilts with springs, like they was hopping like pogo stick ass leg ass niggas. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was all that.
no,
twat.
yeah, that's when
love when he
people
brings
used to
up the
put
choir.
budgets behind
And
there.
Sting.
Well, then he brought Little Kim out.
Sting.
Yeah.
We had
Every
Sting.
single
I was like,
day.
okay, come on.
I was watching you. I love Sting. Sting.
Yes.
Don't get me started on the
Hey,
police.
Charles.
Sting is the shit.
Oh, of
Come
course.
on.
Sting is
Legend.
forever.
Oh, never mind. I was about to say, and you know, you can't say Prince without talking about Morris Day in the time, but that's really for
Oh,
Have you heard? Hey. Oh, yeah. Hey.
I don't wanna know you.
No, yeah. Jungle Love.
Man.
If I would have been grown back then, you know, I would have been a huge Morris Day
That
in
shit
the time. That's
And
right
how
up
cool
my
is
alley.
it that they were really friends when they were little?
Yes.
Like I saw pictures of them like in the cafeteria in like high school or something. I think that is insane.
That's
Could
why
you
this shit was
imagine?
so lit
You were at a cafeteria table with Prince and Morris Day.
back in the day.
Crazy. But anyway, okay. So the comment that stood out to me was by Jocelyn
Hernandez?
No, Jocelyn Kelly on SoundCloud. And she said, "Thank you so much, Fran, for breaking Lemonade down the way that you did. I have a lot of B haters in my circle, and I've been trying to express how her project was to empower women. You did that much more eloquently than I ever could. Also, much like Asante, you opened my eyes to the existence of different African religions. I am much more of a spiritual person and have always felt out of place in the Christian religion. It feels like I do it just because that is what has always been taught to me. But as I am nearing 30, I feel this absence of comfort with the disconnect. I'm very interested in learning more about the many different African religions as I feel more closely connected to the traditions and rituals. I would like to know where is a good place to start. If you are new to these religions and their principles, I'm looking to become a more complete and elevated version of my beautiful Black self." Right? So I thought that was great because even my mom, when she listened to the episode, she was like, "I can't believe you brought up Santeria and, candomblé and all those things." I'm like, Mom, I get that it's been taboo. Like I said, when the colonizers kind of came and made us feel like we were uncivilized or barbaric or Satan worshipers, which a lot of people still are conditioned to think that now. And I actually got a lot of tweets from people saying that me bringing it up and even Beyonce paying homage to it made them rethink their aversion towards certain, spiritual traditions and practices, and maybe realizing that maybe they have been brainwashed to think that there's something wrong with it, and now they're going to look into it. And obviously, I didn't bring up any of those references to convert or sway. But
yes, you did. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But I think it's important to understand how we've been disconnected from our traditions and cultures, and the loss that you might feel if you are Catholic or something, and you might not feel connected. Maybe there's something that you're missing, that you haven't taken the chance to look beyond Christianity and see how you're supposed to connect with God, and your ancestors. So I'm glad that conversation was brought up. Yeah, so that definitely stood out to me. So I'm excited that people are curious. And people are asking me to do a segment, which I don't think is proper, because to speak about, Ifa or Espiritismo and Santeria and things like that, you have to be initiated. And
I don't want nobody trying to jump on me.
We'll
just didn't talk about
just Google it. Just Google it.
No, yeah, you have to be. At least for me, out of respect, the women I grew up knowing, and people in my family, that's not something you speak on the details of if it's not what you're a part of.
Right.
I was never initiated just because I never went through with the process, but it's something I just grew around, which is why I know it. But if you want to find out more, there are tons, especially now after Lemonade came out, I saw a lot of articles talking about, Yoruba religions in West Africa. So definitely just do your research. Look up the names.
Google, ho.
Yeah, look up Orishas and Oshun and all the ones that came up and see what resonates. When people ask, where do I start? Just read.
Anywhere.
Yeah, go to the library, pick up a book on Orishas, go on Amazon, just pick one, and then let it kind of take you where it wants to take you if you find it interesting. That's, to me, the best way to learn, as opposed to expecting people to, tell you what to read.
Right.
So that stood out to me.
What about you, Dustin? What stood out to you?
Like this. So I've decided that this week, every week, I'm going to use this segment to highlight a tweet that stood out to me.
Nice.
So all of my my pool of possible choices will be coming from the Twitter. Okay. My Twitter is look at Dustin. Just tweet me whatever you want to tweet me. It doesn't matter. And so tonight's tweet comes from friend to the show, friend in real life, and friend in everybody's YouTube with her channel, La Belle of the Ball, Maleficent on Twitter, Patty LaHale, who tweeted, and her Twitter is @MaleFicent. She said, on a serious note, attorney Nene Leakes would beat Annalise Keating in the courtroom. Debate your mother's improperly washed greens. That was her tweet. So in other words, if Nene Leakes, it has nothing to do with the topic, but I'm highlighting a tweet.
Oh, okay.
So if Nene
you're
Leakes,
just highlighting random
any tweet,
tweets.
whatever tweet. So
okay, I
that's
see what
right.
happened now.
If what she's saying is that if Nene Leakes was an attorney with her brawny arguing style, if she was an attorney, she would beat what we know Annalise Keating to be on How to Get Away with Murder.
That's the most
I thought it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And then she said, before you come in my mentions with that bullshit, debate your mother's improperly washed greens. So I just wanted to say shout out to you, Patty LaHale. Your tweet stood out. So, I'm watching you. Just know I'm watching. Their eyes was watching God, and my eyes is watching your tweets, God damn it.
For this week's episode, we noticed that there were a lot of think pieces, of course, that came out. That's the new wave for Lemonade. And one of the biggest topics that we noticed was the idea of inclusion. So and actually I was telling Dustin, it was his timeline that inspired me to want to talk about this, because I saw him going back and forth with a few people who felt that Beyonce should have included trans women, more fat Black women, and as well as people who weren't necessarily, I think the proper term, obviously correct me if I'm wrong, is that aren't able-bodied. So if they're handicapped, so they felt that if she was creating this project that was supposed to represent womanhood, then all types of women should have been a part of the project. So inclusion,
with the focus though on larger African American women and transgender women who did not
and
look
handicapped women.
did not look cisgendered,
right,
and handicapped women specifically, with the emphasis on heavy set, black women.
Right, that's the one that you
because
were going
they
back
called me
and forth.
fat phobic.
Right, I saw
Because
that.
I said that the think piece was stupid. Go ahead, Fran.
Right, so that's what we want to discuss today. If you are creating art, is inclusion necessary? Let's talk about it.
First of all, art is up for interpretation, and art is solely up to the creator, of what is produced. You can't tell me what my art is supposed to include. This is not a service. This is not a public service. This is not a necessity. This is not one of your needs being met. This is not, sustenance and covering. This is art. So it's not something that I have to make available for everyone to use. Beyonce had absolutely no responsibility to include anyone other than whoever the hell she wanted to include. And what really pissed me off was the same people that were jumping in my mentions telling me that I was trash and fat phobic. I said, okay, so who all should have been in here? I said, and if you miss anybody, I'm going to get your ass.
I saw that.
So they tweeted me back. They was like, transgender women, how you know it wasn't nobody in there transgender? How you know? Did you lift everybody's fucking skirt up and check for balls or whatever? What did you do, Second of all, so not only transgender women, then transgender women who don't look cisgendered.
Right, I did see that.
How you know? What are you talking about? They said everything. So then somebody tweeted me back and said, hey, Dustin, they forgot albino women. Get them.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, well, she covered that in. No, I'm just
it was the most ridiculous, far-fetched thing I had ever seen in my life. You talking about a reach? This is the Green Mile of reaches. And so I just couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe that all these people who obviously took personal issue with this being specific to overweight, heavy-set women, that's who was attacking me and calling me fat phobic because I said that a piece was stupid. I never said anything about somebody being overweight or anything about that, period. I was talking about the article, dog, not how much you weigh. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about you. I wasn't even talking to you. So why would you take what I said insultingly? But that loops back around to what we always talk about, which is why sometimes it's just none of your business.
Right.
And if you don't agree with what I had to say, then just you don't agree. I don't need to know.
Right. I think with inclusion is tricky because, especially when it comes to art is a perspective. That's what you're sharing when you share art is how you view something. Mm-hmm. It's your perception of something. So when you focus on inclusion, it takes away in a way from how you see it because now you're creating art that is more so trying to be politically correct as opposed to just creating art because you're creating art. I can't create what you expect of me because then it's no longer my creation. That's basically what it comes down to for me. So it reminds me of Lena Dunham when she had the show Girls that I was actually telling you about last week. And even shows like Sex and the City, a lot of people I remember were really mad because there are no black women on it for years. And I never really understood that because I felt this show is a one white lady's perspective of her friendships and how she sees New York and her relationships and the conversations her and her girls have. I don't want her to just throw in a black girl just because she has to. Number one, it probably won't make sense. Number two, she's not going to know how to speak for the black girl, or the writing, I should say, is not going to be representative. And then if she hires a black girl, then it's to be the writer for the black actress, then it's no longer her story. She's just creating.
She ain't even got to go through all that. As long as we in the restaurants eating, you know what I'm saying, when they film it, as long as we shop, milling around in the stores while they shopping, I'm straight. That just mean we there. That's real depiction.
I think it gets tricky when you, like, if someone said to me, Fran, create a movie about your life, I can't think about inclusion because it's not going to be my life anymore.
You better, otherwise you're going to be fat phobic like me.
I'm going to be able to include the people that, when you ask me to create something, the people that come to mind. Now, that's for art and personal, creations. Now, when you talk about bigger projects, like let's say a Marvel movie or something, some big movie that's not necessarily like someone's perspective on something, but it's just like a big general project, then I think inclusion is important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like a Marvel movie, at least from my understanding, I don't know, it's not like someone's perspective on life. It's just a story that someone created,
right,
with a lot of different elements, and I'm sure there are tons of different writers. Then yeah, you should have different races and body types. That to me is when it's important. But if it's a personal project, then I want to know what your life is like. I don't want you to paint a life that I'll feel comfortable watching. I want to know what your life was like,
right,
whether I can see myself in it or not. And truth be told, I actually enjoy seeing things where I don't see myself, because that means that's a perspective that I probably had no access to whatsoever. And instead of being mad that I'm not a part of it, I just appreciate learning something I didn't understand before. That's sort of how I choose to see it. So that's my stance on it. What about you, Asante?
I agree with everything that you said, because I really have to sit back and think to myself, as an artist, what I want to say, how do I want to express myself? And inclusion, partially is the reason I feel so stifled sometimes.
Right.
You say one thing and then people are like, oh, you said this, so you spoke against me. And it's like, no, I didn't. I don't even know you. Like what Dustin was saying.
Right.
I said this and I just spoke, and you just took whatever, you took from it and had to use that against me, oddly enough. And I think when people do those think pieces about how they need to feel included, they forget. People forget that people are people. I know that sounds fucked up, but when you have to think about Beyonce dealing with what she's dealing with and what her story is about, you wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that she should have done this, that, and the third, because this is what her story was. It was about this, not even about none of that other shit. Because when you really think about it, why would I ask Beyonce to take on some things that she doesn't speak on regularly? Why would I say I want Beyonce to make sure she represents for the big girls and for the trans girls? Because Beyonce always does that for all. You know what I'm saying? She might not have enough friends to know how to represent it properly. A lot of that stuff may not have even crossed her mind, just because she simply wanted to tell her story. And I think people forget. They think inclusion means that it needs to be at the forefront of your brain all the time. Like you always need to be accommodating to other people. You always have to, wonder and create for others, when it's really for yourself. Right. Yes, others have that point of view, those perspectives that they can share, get conversations started. But then it's like they go to the source and it's like, all right, well, I know this is the Mona Lisa, but this shit was painted wrong. It's like, no, this is the inspiration. You don't talk about the strokes on it or the lighting.
Yeah, that's how they saw it.
People just forget and they get fucked up, and it fucks me up. It fucks the world up.
And you can't expect everything from everyone. Like, how can Beyonce speak for everyone? How can anyone speak for anyone? There's going to be something missing in every project. It's just impossible. Could you imagine if every project included... First of all, what is inclusion in totality anyways? How is that even possible? You know how many different things would have to be constantly represented? And then if we're so focused on that and who's getting left out, it's like we said last week, I think the important thing is, if you see yourself missing, create it then. Mm-hmm. Then that should be your push. When I see myself missing in things, it makes me be like, well, I see how I can make this, where I would fit in. And then maybe that's your calling, to create what you don't see.
And that's why I admire things like Black and Sexy TV, when they created things that they didn't see.
Yeah, because they totally saw a gap and they filled it.
Imagine watching Sex and the City and it's like the a regular ass season, and then they just decide, all right, we're gonna throw a black girl on this season. And so now it's a black girl sitting at the table. I'm like, girl, I almost got my weave wet.
And I remember when they felt the pressure, because didn't they add Jennifer Hudson
in
the movie, right? And it just, you could feel that it was like, let's throw in a black girl.
The assistant.
Right.
Because the minute that black people saw it, it was like, oh, of course we got to be the assistant. And
that's the thing too. Like, if you force things like that and then you get it, you're most likely not going to like it, because it's going to be done half-assed, because it wasn't what they wanted to do in the first place.
Here's what I ask, right? All I ask is for a realistic, depiction of whatever the story is you're trying to tell. Lemonade, Beyonce's album film, was not indicative of our day-to-day reality. She was breathing underwater. There was rooms on fire that she was standing in casually. Like, it was almost some fantasy type shit, right? It was telling a story. So the responsibility was not there to tell, a realistic depiction, a realistic, interpretation of reality. She could create whatever world she wanted to. And what she made was hella inclusive, especially when you consider the fact that she didn't have to. Now, if Beyonce had made a short film about living in Los Angeles, you know, in 2016, it would need to look like what that looks like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where inclusion becomes important. If you're going to tell it right.
And even
Right.
to the point of that, though, like, it's all based on perception. So if she decided to tell a story about California in
It's still
2016.
how she sees it.
Exactly. So she didn't see, you know, any of these other people or places or things that need to be included. It's like you can't fault her for that. She's still Beyonce. So it's like her point of view on a lot of different things are going to be completely different. You might say TSA to Beyonce, and she's like, what does that stand for? Like we know what we got to do, but she looking at us like, I fly private. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I like what you said about the stifling, because I think that's something with being politically correct that I think is getting us in trouble, especially as artists. When we worry too much and then we think too much and overthink, then it leaves less room for just like flow and stream of consciousness and like literally just making shit. Because a lot of times, even with me, when I want to create things, you know, I'm overthinking to the point that I get like paralyzed.
Yeah.
And that sucks as a creative, especially when you do have a perspective you want to share. You should just be able to share it.
Yeah, that's why I don't give a damn. And I'm dead serious.
No, but that's
it's
true,
not
you know.
to be,
and
know,
I think
rude.
I think it can be
refuse.
hard. I think it can be harmful in a lot of ways. And, you know, I get the importance of it. Like I said, I get the importance of inclusion for specific projects where inclusion is an option, meaning this isn't someone's life story or something, you know? Because imagine me, like I grew up, I always say in the hood, and then someone's like, yeah, but you need a white girl in your story.
It's like,
I'd be like, what? Like, how would a white girl even fit? Yeah, like I would be faking that. I would be making up a white
like
girl in my story.
I don't understand.
There was no white girl me growing up. I didn't really interact with white people until I got to private school, you know? So I can't lie or make you feel comfortable with my life story by adding you if you weren't in it. Mm-hmm. That's just how I see it. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's a tricky topic, but a lot of people were angry, and it was
pretty black and white to me, Fran. It don't seem tricky. Seemed to me like that's what.
Well, it seems tricky because of how many think pieces I saw, and it was like different. Like,
well, first of all, we got all these undercover Beyonce haters. See, that's what it's really about. Sometimes a lot of people who know that it's clearly the unpopular opinion to speak negatively of somebody like Beyonce, who's really great at what they do and don't fuck around with nobody, don't bother nobody. That's why the Beehive is so, you know, vicious and violent, because anytime somebody fucks with Beyonce, they did that. She did nothing to start it.
Right.
You know, so that's why. But my point is that people who really don't like her, they mask their need to just be haters and hateful in think pieces and shit like that. Oh, Lemonade was such a great album, or oh, it was a great film. Love Beyonce. But XYZ.
Always a but.
Okay.
And then their favorite thing to say is, oh, I clearly said I love Beyonce. You just don't, you know, y'all, I guess you just can't say nothing about Beyonce. That's what they say. That's how you know they a real hater.
And I noticed that just even, you know, outside of Beyonce, it's like, but yeah, so I've noticed that it just seemed like such a online wound of people feeling like they need to see themselves in everything. And I really wish that you would not look at it that way and instead look at it like, okay, let me create myself in everything then, you know?
The foundation of inclusion, it's just that basic principle of everybody wanting to be in something or everybody wanting to be loved, but like...
And being acknowledged, which I understand.
So people will either bandwagon or try to go against the grain and be a part of the unpopular opinion to get that attention, just do whatever. And I sometimes feel like people lose sight of self when they try to be included in every other thing. Because, you know, you're looking for yourself in all these things, or you want to be represented here and there. But it's like, you have to remember yourself and how you represent self so you can be seen in more things. Or, you know, you have to show more of that as opposed to trying to force other people to do it. If I decided to throw like a white person in particular parts of my story just to make people happy, it's not going to look good. Because it's like, all right, give me your perspective. But, you know, on white people, and I have to go back to elementary school and think about every time a white person talked down to me, and say, all right, that's what my movie's based on. Then it's going to look like, well, that was inclusion, but not really. It's like, that was my perspective.
That's my inclusion.
On inclusion because
right.
you wanted me to do that.
Yeah.
But then people are disappointed sometimes when they get that inclusion, but it's not what they wanted. So they forget to do it for themselves and, love thyself. Like, that really is what it's all about. You want these people to be your heroes and stand for you. But you got to stand for yourself sometimes. And I think that's where it all gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah, I guess it's just hard seeing, because I thought the project was so amazing. And even just like I was saying, outside of Beyonce, a lot of different projects that come out that I'll be like, oh, this is so great. And then you'll see the thing pieces and I'll be like, wow, I didn't even see any of those things missed. But it's all perception. When people are going to look for what they're going to look for.
Exactly.
But I think the takeaway for me with inclusion is make it your life's purpose to become what you think is missing. That's that. Instead of, like we say, criticizing is such a waste of your life source, because you're essentially living to tell someone to focus on how someone else is living.
Especially when the person on the other end don't care in the first place.
That's the biggest takeaway.
And speaking
I don't care.
That's what makes it even more of a waste of your life source.
And I can't wait to be like my biggest, baddest Dustin and not give a fuck no more. But
biggest, baddest Dustin.
But sometimes when y'all send those letters talking about whatever y'all talking about and y'all feel like y'all are about to prove something or do something, I've only read about 5 to 10 words and I'm done. So really think about how much of your time you might be wasting trying to tell somebody else or make somebody else be inclusive when you are literally still being left out by doing that shit. So
no, it's true.
Something to take into consideration.
It's a waste of energy. But so that's our conversation about inclusion for today. Do you guys have any other takeaways you want to add?
If you feel left out, you're not in the front. No, I'm just
What I was going to say was my thoughts on inclusion, leave me out of it. That's my thoughts on it. Leave me out of it. I'm doing just fine over here. Fine. Ooh. Let it go. Hey, I ain't going to let nothing get in my way. Nothing get in my way.
Oh, man. Mary J. Blige. We're going to end the inclusion conversation with Mary J. Blige.
You damn right, because she includes everybody. Everybody loves Mary J. Blige.
And
white people, black people, Oprah.
And if you don't write in and tell us about it.
Oh, this is the wrong place.
Especially now Mary J. and Dustin.
This is the last place anybody that on this...
I'm telling you.
Speaking of Mary J., I've been so into her My Life album.
It's a classic.
It just came back around in my mind, and I have been obsessively playing it for the past month.
A lot of texture on that album. A lot of texture.
Because, it's a 10-10. It's one of those that's just perfect from beginning to end. But it's funny how, an album can just, come back and then go and come back and at different times of your life. But that's kind of where I'm at. And then my summer playlist for Tidal that I tweeted to you guys. You guys have been cracking me up. Grass-Fed Charlie, I believe that's her name on Twitter. She's one of my favorites. She was like, only Fran would have me in my office jamming to the Thong Song by Cisco. Because y'all know I added all the random shit.
Like the way the booty go.
But I'll definitely post that link under the SoundCloud as well, so in case you guys want to check it out.
Hey, everybody, we're going to pause for the cause and chat a little bit about this week's sponsor, Loot Crate. Now, for those of you that don't know, Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service that includes shit like licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, and unique one-of-a-kind items, and even more than that. For example, like Marvel's latest film, Captain America: Civil War, it featured this huge clash of epic big proportions. And that makes May the perfect time to put the spotlight on characters and items of great power. Now, Loot Crate and us have something really cool that you can carry, something for your kitchen, and a cool figure to go with our monthly tee and pin. Featuring 2 Marvel items, plus Warcraft and Dragon Ball Z, no crate should have all this power. No one crate should have all that power. The clock ticking, Loot Crate's got the hour. You have until the 19th, okay? You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific time to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. You cannot have no parts of any of this Loot Crate-ness. So make sure to head over to www.lootcrate.com/friendzone and enter code FRIENDZONE to save $3 on any new subscription. Now let's get back to our show.
So this week's wellness segment, I'm actually excited because I'm going to challenge Asante and Dustin as well.
Just Assante, remember? Before he got here, you said you was only going to make him do it.
No,
Damn.
Dustin and Assante and all of you listening, since it's the beginning of the month, I always love seeing the first couple of days as like a way to build some new talent or skill set or just learn something new. That's always how I view the top of the month.
With your dumb asses. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
So I thought it would be dope to give ourselves a 30-day challenge.
Joe, dumbasses. Hell.
Yeah, like
Go
old
ahead,
man.
Fran.
So here's a 30-day challenge. Ready?
Yes. No, but I'm going to listen.
I'm not gonna commit,
And you guys
but go
have
on.
to try. You have to try it.
Fran,
So
it better not be nothing about the fucking kind of food I can eat or nothing like that.
No,
Okay,
that'll
go ahead.
probably be
You better text me every day if you want me to do this challenge.
So I want to do a 30-day no complaining, no shading,
I'm out.
I don't do that anyway.
I'm out.
Never
no
do that.
negative talk.
This is
for
perfect
30
for me.
days.
Nah,
Okay,
I can still
30 days.
I can retaliate to something, right? I just can't
no,
put it
that's
out there.
still negative talk.
Oh,
no,
so
but it don't
verbally.
count
So
when
it's a
you
verbal
get- when
thing.
it's going back.
So if I got some signs,
No. It has to be internal, external,
Fran,
like
I'm gonna
talk
commit to
period.
it, but if somebody say something about my mama or my sister or something, it's on. I'm telling you right now.
okay, but what if I'm listening to Lemonade though?
Right.
No
All I listen
negative
to
talk
is,
about
like,
cheating, nothing.
Everything in my phone got the sticker on it.
But here's what
ain't no way around
here's what
it.
the challenge is gonna be. Okay, so this is the thing. When we
It
complain,
does. Everything. Who like I'm gonna buy the clean? Me.
Oh
I'm gonna buy the clean version. I don't even go to Walmart unless you're talking about that patty cake. Oh, it was so moist. Everybody, I'm sorry, Fran.
It's fine,
really
it's
quick.
fine.
Everybody, that Patty LaBelle pound cake is good. It's clearly got like
With a little
salted
icing on
butter in it. It's moist as hell. It's so good. Like, I know y'all talk shit about that sweet potato pie, and
Which
I
was
think we
good
were
as
all.
hell.
It was very good, but we
I
might
still
have
never
gave it a
tasted
little
it.
bit
So
too
good.
much. But that pound cake, that is something serious
it was
for real.
good. Did
Yes.
she still making that stuff, or
What?
people just stopped
Yes.
talking about it?
Of course she is still
Because it
making.
was just a phase.
You ain't see her being fake in that church on that commercial, that Walmart commercial. Oh, I forgot. You ain't got no. Fran ain't got a TV. I'm sorry, Fran.
You
But it be
already
coming
ru-
on YouTube
He
sometimes.
already failed the 30-day
Already,
challenge.
look at you.
He threw throwing shade.
Oh my God! That is, I would never.
You're
That is
starting
the
again.
last person
Shading
on the
me.
face of the earth I would
he's
ever.
a-
He said
Oh,
he
wait.
never would.
I swear to God, I never in life. Like that's the
Dustin said,
last
"Oh
person.
wait, you can't see commercials, huh?"
But the thing is, it comes on YouTube too. Kylie Bell, and it was during what just passed, where Easter. It was during Easter where everybody was cooking, and she cooks this meal with her family, and then they walk in the church, and she really gives the fake hi to the pastor, like
Sante's
it's
over
so
here doing
fake.
breathing
So
techniques.
that's all. But anyway, go ahead, Fran.
Okay, so this is what I was saying. When you are negative, it's usually a self-defense mechanism, right?
Very true.
Very true. That's usually what it comes down to. It's something that you are feeling insecure about, and you lash out by being negative. 9 times out of 10, that's the response. Also, our brains, when we complain and just constantly speak negatively, releases stress hormones that actually mess up the neural connections in your brain that you use for problem solving and other types of like cognitive functions.
Can't even concentrate because you're getting on my damn nerves.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
negativity, in other words, interferes with how your brain works. It actually chemically alters your brain. Remember, we've talked about this with the amygdalas and the GABAs. Stress, negativity, all these external factors. Like, I think people don't realize you are chemically altering how your brain works. That's how serious. When I talk about negativity, it's not about being this positive, happy-go-lucky person all the time. But if someone's telling you scientifically you're getting in your own way by putting out this badass energy, why would you not try to do something about it?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's why scientifically every day I got to get a little reset. You know what I'm talking
So the
about?
challenge I want to do for you guys that are listening, and Asante and Dustin, I want you to put a rubber band, or it could be a bracelet that you already have.
I listen to text too. I heard.
What he say?
When he had the doctor on there.
Oh, she was saying to snap it. She was saying to snap yourself. No. This isn't a snap trick.
Well, you know I wasn't finna do that.
Even though I thought that one was really interesting when she said that. But no, this one, you're going to put a rubber band on your left hand, right? And then
this ain't no Kabbalah bullshit. Is
no,
this?
it's not.
Why gotta be bullshit?
So it's a 30-day. Basically, you're going to reprogram.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be hard because you don't even realize how negative you can be until you're like keeping track of it.
Right.
So you're going to put a rubber band on your left hand, right? And every time you have a negative thought, your start clock has to reset. Basically, even if you've been good for 2-3 days of no negative talk, as soon as that negative or shade or complaint comes out, you have to put the rubber band back on the other hand and start from scratch.
Oh, hell no. That could go on for the rest of my life.
You about to watch this rubber band play
But
hopscotch.
here's the thing about it. The challenge of it is not so much to try to do it perfectly for 30 days because I don't know that's going to be difficult. But the challenge is that it will make you more aware of how negative of a person you are. And that will show you. And because I remember the first time I tried it, I kid you not. And me, you see, I'm not someone that's like even a relatively negative person. I had like maybe, I don't know. I remember it was something crazy, like 40 or 50 thoughts in one day that were either like, self-defeating, just negative. And this is the thing, the shade and the negativity doesn't mean that you're sending it towards someone else. It is even towards yourself. Like when you know how that inner voice, when you make a mistake or something doesn't go wrong, you kind of talk to yourself kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's being more mindful even of your own inner voice with yourself. And of course, how you speak to other people.
Right.
So the whole point of it is to try to cut down on the stress and negativity and the energy that not only are you putting out for people, but for yourself. And I promise you, the more aware you are of this energy, the more willing you'll be to cut down on it, and you will actually catch yourself, and it's just a great way to reprogram how heavy and harsh your life feels, because there's definitely a correlation. Like, I put out calm energy because I want a calm life. And it's a mirror. You know what I mean? It's like a boomerang effect. So that's why my life, I can say for the most part, is relatively calm.
How I'm going to get through love and hip-hop?
You can.
How I'm going to make it through love and hip-hop, friend? I'm going to be starting over forever.
Yeah.
But at least, like I said, now, because it's on your mind, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize how much shit I talk.
I'm going to have to miss love and hip-hop.
I'm switching right. Look, if I had one right now, I would just be...
Mine gonna look like them you know how when people have bangles all the way up their arms to the elbow, that's how my rubber band. I'm gonna have so many fucking rubber bands.
But like I said, put one on the left hand, try to get through the month with it being on one arm.
That's we do
basically
a week?
The goal. I mean, do whatever you need to do.
No, don't give me. Because
the
is
whole
it
point
still
is
respectable if we only do a week? Because a month is that's a lot of commitment.
I mean, I'd rather you do a week than not do it at all. But I do think
a month is commitment.
Just try to see.
Can I pick a week, not this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, until it'll be like next year. You'll be like, I'm ready for my challenge.
Like jury duty, I want to postpone this for as long as possible.
So that's something I want you guys to try to chemically alter your brain in a different direction. Alter it in a way that actually...
I chemically alter it all right. Like now that...
I was getting in the car.
we could go do that right now, okay?
No, but let me tell
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast.
Okay.
No, but you know what? I'm actually glad you said that, because what if you figured out how to make yourself chemically alter your brain without needing any of that? Imagine if you figured out that power.
I'm about to save a whole bunch of money on my
without
car
needing
insurance,
any
let me tell you
passion
that.
flower or herbal extract. No, but all jokes aside, imagine if you master your mind and yourself to the point that you know how to give yourself that same high. And your life is just a constant high.
That sounds like
that's the goal, right?
One step closer to being rich. I guess I'll try this now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the whole point is we're all trying to feel good and calm down, calm our asses down, and just have way better feeling lives, way higher quality lives. And it all starts with the shit that you are thinking about all day.
Yes, it does.
It really does. Like, your mind can kill you if you let it.
That's why I don't be paying nobody no attention. Because it start with the shit you take in. Like, that's why I be like,
but it's true though. Remember we said it on I forget which episode it was, but to me, hell is not a place. It's just an energy. It's a thought process. It's how you choose to view the world.
Go to hell. That's why it feel good to tell somebody, go to hell.
Or that's why when people look at you and they be like,
hell.
Oh, damn. See, another rubber band.
So, Fran, when an old person looks at you, they calling you hell, or they calling you energy, or they be like, hell. They just see the energy on you. Hell.
Right, they feel it. So, I mean, have you ever like stood next to someone and you can like feel the heaviness? Or you just see it on their face and they haven't even opened their mouths? Mm-hmm. Like, that energy is like
Donald Trump.
He always looked like it.
True. Yeah. Imagine being around him. There's an astrologer, Reiki instructor. She's like all these awesome spiritual things. I would love for you guys to check her out. She's on Twitter. She goes under Mystic. Mystic X Lipstick. And her name is Danny, I believe. And she talks about energy in terms of a Morse code, which I love that. She's like, what you put out is a Morse code to God. And he's basically seeing the kind of life you want to have by all the things that you do, what you think about, what you choose to spend your day doing, the kinds of conversations you're having. You know what I mean? So when you keep that in mind and you look at your life, if you're happy with it or unhappy, then you have to think, okay, well, what am I putting out that is giving me this life? So that's basically what I want you guys to be more aware of. So try the challenge.
I don't be wanting to think about that shit. Shit.
I'm gonna try.
That's the shit I'm depressed about.
Only
I think it's a cool way to kind of catch yourself in a way, you know, and be like, oh, okay, my life is like this because look how I talk about people and what I'm doing, or even how I talk to myself. It's just awareness is like a big part of changing your life. Huge part.
See, I'm so aware of the fact that I need to change certain things in my life that this rubber band is not going to help me in this particular juncture, but it will be like ninja training for a different phase of my life. Because, you know, I already know the problem is just work. Like, I just hate my job.
Right.
But I will, you know, take the time out to try to reset my thinking. And if I can make it through work all the time without being negative, even when, you know, shit goes down, then I will be one step closer to my millionaire mansion. So
yeah, and a lot of you actually have hit me about the gratitude jars, which I'm so happy that you guys have loved it. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it on the show that day, but one girl sent me a picture, and she said she'd actually kept her gratitude jar for the entire year and then opened it on New Year's.
Wow.
Oh, she's so damn smart.
And
she went to HBCU, didn't she?
Probably, I don't know.
She's smart. Oh, Spellman ass.
But I thought that was so dope because I do it monthly just because I like at the end of the month because it's the emotional benefits, you know, that I like having it like consistently. But I also did like the way that she flipped it because then at the end of the year, you come into the new year with good ass energy. You're happy. You're like, yo, my last year was not as hard as I thought. Look at all the good things that manifested. So definitely continue the gratitude jars if you're doing that. And let's keep the conversation going with how we can be healthier thinkers so that our lives can feel better because it's just a lot of craziness out there right now.
It is.
Right. So that's it for this week's wellness segment. I really hope you guys join us on the challenge and find it interesting at least.
Join us on the challenge.
Right. So, or at least a week with Dustin. We'll see.
Yeah, you know,
I'm gonna be following. I'm gonna be tracking you on Twitter.
Yeah, you already do. Their eyes is watching.
When Dustin goes to bang on someone, I'll be like, move your rubber band to the other hand.
I'm gonna just be tweeting, moves rubber band.
Rubber band, hashtag rubber band.
Hashtag rubber band.
Everyone that follows Dustin, tweet him hashtag rubber band when you see him being mean.
Speaking of rubber bands, we bringing back the song of the week right now. And I want to make sure that I am inclusive with this week's song choice. So since we're talking about rubber bands, on one end of the spectrum, I want you guys to look up the American Bandstand performance of the Rubber Band Man by the Spinners. Look that up. And then also look up Rubber Band Man by Clifford T.I. Harris, who just had a beautiful baby girl named Diana Harris. So thank them for that. And giving honor to God and So yeah.
Woo! Oh my
So
God.
that's what I want to say.
I
So
wish
this
there was a
week, you know,
camera
it's
in
a
here.
rubber band. It's a rubber band man.
I wish there was a camera in here.
That's it.
I said,
Thank you. Thank you,
Wow.
God.
Names.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like how there's like
Recover,
silence,
recover.
right? So Asante, what is
Yes.
this week's? I was gonna say what's this week's wellness segment.
You got the best of me.
Hey.
And I just
Speaking
keep
of, did y'all
on
see
coming
Mariah
back.
the clip from her
Yeah.
concert where she like was riding the dude on the chair? I was like,
What?
wow, I never seen her like that. So
He
it's
had like
kinda
a
cool. I liked
leg
it. I
brace.
thought
He
it
was in a
different for
wheelchair,
her.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, he had a leg brace.
He was like being super aggressive with her.
Yeah, I thought that was weird when
Yeah.
he like lifted her up. I was like, is this part of the show? But she looked great though. She looks really happy.
Mm.
So what's the icebreaker for today, Asante?
Well, in the spirit of inclusion, if there was ever a race you felt left out of, if you could not be black or male or female or whatever, if you want to change, let's just say you believed in reincarnation, you go into your next life, you can choose to be any race, creed, color, whatever you want. Would you still be the same or would you be something else?
Oh wow.
Because I thought about this, and 9 times out of 10, I'd still want to be a black man.
I
but-
know what I don't want to be.
I
But
know that
I
too.
definitely want to come back as another black man. I want to come back just like this. I love it. We can dance. We're well endowed. We
Oh
have
my
like
God,
charisma
Dustin.
and energy. Like this is why would I pick anything else and be at risk of not having that? Those are important things that have gotten me in, rooms and spaces and things. Like I need that. So like I don't want to know life without black, male.
Yeah, you know what's weird? I
charm.
feel you. I don't know that I'd want to not be black. I don't know. Maybe I'd want to see what it's like
Would you
being a
still wanna-
black man.
Mm.
Maybe that would be a curiosity, just for the perspective and just seeing what
So
life
much
is
fun.
like.
Yeah.
Especially for men, because it's just like a whole different world that I obviously have no clue about
A new
personally.
fantastic
Right.
point of view.
Right. No, you didn't go with Aladdin.
And low key, I would want to be.
Oh, God.
I don't want to be
You know-
anything other than.
I'm about to say something so crazy.
Oh.
I'm not going to say that,
Do it
actually.
so we
What?
can get some
Say
good
it.
think pieces. Say it, Asante. Say it with your full ass, too. Get close to the mic.
No, you
Lean
didn't
up.
with your full
Lean in.
ass.
Say it.
What I was going to say, I would like to come back African, some sort of royalty per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, they always talk about the African princes. So I was like, I don't want to come back as, ain't nothing wrong with white people, but, y'all are pretty bad. But I would, unless I was to come back like a white man in the 80s or something, or maybe 70s, but then I thought I might not live through that depending on the type of drugs I might get hooked on. Like, these are all the things that I thought about. Clearly, I was high when I thought about this question.
Right.
But,
Definitely a high icebreaker question.
yes, definitely. Definitely still want to be a man. Could not bear the thought of having children.
Hell, fuck nah. A woman?
Really?
No,
you
thank
wouldn't-
you.
You're not curious for the
Not
perspective?
I am
at all.
I
How
am not.
fun our lives
No
are?
way,
I'm
shape,
not.
or form.
Now, I did ask someone, and they explained, it would be so beautiful to be a woman and experience it. And I get that. I get
Yeah.
it. Birth is
I'm
beautiful.
good.
But, I just, for me,
He said fun.
even if I was a woman, I would still be like, I'm going to have to do something about this. 'Cause I
Man,
can't
hell
ever.
no.
But, yeah, I would not want to come back as a woman. Sorry, ladies. Love y'all. But
No, thank you. I'm
never-
just very comfortable with how everything worked out. With me. So I don't really want to rock the boat. And now, I could come back white if I could be like that. Y'all seen like that Kappa that be strolling with them other
Oh
Kappas.
God,
and
what
he
is
be
like Sam
he can
Whiteout?
like dance, like if I could, or that it's a vine, or not even a vine. It's like a clip that's on Twitter, like this white boy in his white shirt and these khaki shorts dancing with this white girl, like a outdoor picnic or something. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't
like
seen
if I was
that.
like a white dude like that with like a faded haircut and I could dance and
Like a
wore Jordans
down-ass
and
white
shit.
dude.
yes.
Maybe
Shout
I could
out.
get with that. I
Never
just don't want to
mind.
lose the essence of,
Who you about to shout
I
out?
was about to, I was back before the social media age. Down in Morehouse College, there was a white valedictorian one year, and he was so fine.
What?
So the smartest person to graduate from Morehouse that year was a white man.
Yep,
Wow.
owned it.
Yeah.
Owned it. Now that right there, it was some shit. But if I had to be like a white man of some stature, like that right there would be some shit. Be like, all right, I'm down, and not even like in a disrespectful way to say. I came through this bitch and beasted it and topped all y'all.
So basically, we'd all stay black.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Pretty much.
Hey, there you go.
But I thought it would be a cute conversation.
Right?
Just to talk about all the other shit.
Speaking of, what do we have?
Oh, wait, no, that's not what you meant.
Well, all the other shit. All of the other shit. Oh, shit.
Do you watch Broad City?
I saw the first season. I told you Maya was like, you gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
It was hard for me to get through it, to be honest.
If you could watch Girls, you can watch Broad City.
No, Girls was way more interesting. There's actual storyline.
Don't nobody care about them stories.
Broad City's silly. It's
we live in New York City. I see white girl storyline every day I get on the train. Okay?
I thought it was a funny show.
So then you do have to have white people in your life story.
Yep, for now. Now I do.
For now.
They're not going to like the inclusions, but...
No, but Broad City, it took me, I'd say, maybe 5 episodes to really get into it. And then I was like, okay, I get it.
Okay,
it's silly. It's funny.
Well, now that you've gotten it, there's an episode with Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams?
Yes.
Oh,
Which
shit.
one?
The one where she's on the toilet?
No, which Vanessa Williams?
Oh.
There's 2.
There's the one that does Medea films, right? Oh, no, not
There's
Medea
the one.
films.
There's the one from... Which Vanessa Williams? Inclusion. You better pick the right one.
You mean the
Which Vanessa Williams?
No.
Vanessa L. Williams?
You know.
Or Vanessa or Lion Babe Mama?
Lion Babe
I'm not
Mama.
about to ask.
Wait, but she was on it? That's crazy.
Rick Fox's old freak. Remember?
Oh, my God.
She was on it, and she was singing I Shit in the toilet.
What?
There was a scene where one of the girls, she always be singing a song in the bathroom, and then Vanessa Williams is in the next scene singing the same song on the toilet, and it's like, I can't believe this
got
happened to
Please
me.
sing it. Please sing it.
I shit. I shit. I shit. The girl is in there shaking like a maraca or some shit. And then Vanessa Williams comes in soulful as fuck afterwards. She's like, I shit. I shit. Shout out to Broad City. That was a
Dustin,
moment.
do you watch Broad City?
No, they made me watch
What?
one episode.
Oh,
wait,
I got a good
hold it,
episode for
hold
you.
it. They made me watch one episode when they was on the airplane trying to go to Israel or something,
yeah.
but it wasn't that funny to me.
Was that wasn't in
Oh,
the first
nigga,
season,
I have
was
an
it?
episode. No,
It wasn't
Yeah,
that
'cause I'm
funny.
like, I don't
that's
remember
the last
that.
episode.
wasn't that
There is an
funny.
episode that you would love with Sister Act. The shout out. I don't want to give it away
How
because you
many
got to see it.
seasons are there?
I think it's the 3rd season now,
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Is it
So,
on
yeah, I only
Hulu or
saw first.
Netflix?
Yep.
Which
It
one?
is. Hulu.
It's on Hulu?
Mhm,
I'll watch it.
I be watching on your Hulu.
Okay, I watch Hulu. I love it because I'll be watching the Real Housewives reunions all the time of Atlanta on Hulu all the time.
See, I tried Hulu, but there wasn't much that I watched.
You got to watch it. Real
I was
Housewives
like,
of Atlanta.
even Netflix, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, Netflix been
I think
ran
I've
through.
watched all the documentaries I could possibly watch.
My Vidster. Same thing.
He said the same thing.
Ex-hamster.
We should have an episode. I was about to, but no, I'm not.
We definitely
Pornhub.
have to have a sex
I'm not about
episode.
to tell y'all my
I want to
sites.
point. Shout out to anybody that want to send us a gift. Send us gifts. I
Send
want a
us a
Pornhub hoodie.
A
I do.
Pornhub
I do want
hoodie?
one.
Yeah, I want a Pornhub
Yes, 'cause
hoodie.
it's like
So
that
shout out to-
orange,
yeah.
Would you?
Shout out
That
to
white-
Pornhub. Shout out to whoever wants to send me one. You can send it to Loudspeakers Network. Reach out to them for our address info. I would like a Pornhub hoodie in black and a men's large. Thank
Guys, you about to
Send
get
two
a
of those.
box of Pornhub.
I want one
hoodies.
of those too.
I
Send
want
two
the
of
white
those.
one too, actually, because the white one I feel like would be cute in the summertime if I cut the sleeves off.
Well, I want the
Yeah.
black one. So one
So
black,
I want
one
a
white.
white and black actually. So you
Oh,
can
so
pick
two black and
whichever
a white.
one. Size
Y'all
large.
is so
Pornhub hoodies.
random.
Thank you. And if they have the shorts to go with it, that would be even better because it would be really cute with like some Nike slides and Nike socks.
Somebody
So,
gonna make you a Pornhub.
Thank
hoodie.
you. I would like the Pornhub shorts and hoodie. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So what do you have for us today? A Sunday?
The hoodie?
Definitely not the hoodie.
Oh damn.
Oh, the white one would look like candy corn.
Just
If you had like a little yellow, if you had like some yellow shoes, like this is my candy corn outfit. Moving left and right on along. A little cute quote I stole from Dustin from back in the day.
Right, moving left and right along.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, pictures,
Keep them.
please do not hesitate.
No complaints this month.
Right, or else I'm gonna pop your motherfucking rubber band.
Please do not hesitate, which I'm sure you're hesitating to do so now, to email us at thefriendzone@loudspeakersnetwork.com. That is thefriendzone@loudspeakersnetwork.com.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
.com all night. I make it .com. Remember .com by Usher? That was a beautiful song. You guys don't remember that? It was a bonus track from Confessions.
Mm-hmm.
Song homework.
I just started following him on Snapchat.
Because he Snapchatted that.
That is shady, right? It's like,
So that's why
what
you
made
started
you start
following
following him the week that he releases a nude?
Well,
the funny thing is, I actually followed him because I saw Gia talking, because she's obsessed with Usher, and she was talking about
And
how
Snapchat.
cute he is on Snapchat, and she mentioned that one of his sons looked like Lloyd.
Shout out to Miss Gia.
And because we were talking about Lloyd in our last episode, so I was like, what? And I literally followed Usher to see what his sons look like.
To see what his sons look like.
And then that happened to be the same day. I was like, oh, naked in the shower. All
Assante
right.
is nasty. Everybody
see, right?
listening to this show, he's nasty and nasty.
Moving right along. What's the first letter?
What's the first letter?
Hello, loves. This is Anonymous writing in to say, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that. Because you really wanted to see what his sons look like.
I really did, though.
Hello, loves. This is Anonymous writing in to say, first, I love all of you and the show.
Aww.
Second, I would like some insight on some of the things I have been through.
What happened?
I recently got out of an off and on relationship that has lasted as long as a common law marriage in the South. There were not issues with commitment on my end, but with the other person. After years of writing for him and forgiving all the lies and deceit, I finally took a stand and walked away from it all. Instead of putting the effort behind to make it right, he jumped into a relationship with someone else that has the same name as I do.
What?
Because it's easy.
Wait. Like he did that on purpose? Oh,
Instead
no.
of putting the effort behind to make it right, he jumped into a relationship with someone else that has the same name as I do. Because it's easy. Just want to get that to you one more time. I know
I'm so weirded out right now.
Yep. I know walking away was the best thing for me, and people always say
Dustin is out.
that I have such a beautiful spirit and any man would be lucky to have me. But why is it the fuck niggas in relationships find happiness after they have fucked you over time and time again? Why can't you put the effort in to make it right with me, but can make it right with someone else? And what makes me pissed off at myself is that I'm very forgiving. So forcing myself to stay away from him has been torture because all the feelings are not gone. How do you get your soul back from the person that's mistreated it for all these years? Thanks for the advice. Stay beautiful and blessed.
Oh, wow. Well, the first thing I'd say is you have no idea what their relationship is like.
Right.
Because think about how long you stuck it out.
Oh, that glitter.
And it wasn't a good one. So she could very well be doing the same thing. You know, people follow patterns. That could be his pattern. And second of all, I've said it before on the show, sometimes your only job in someone's life is to prepare them for someone else. It's a reality that sucks. But I know I've definitely, men that have dated me, even if we didn't work out, I held up a mirror to them and encouraged them to...
Taught him how to dress.
No. No.
How that nigga look better since I fucked with. Look at him.
No, figuratively, I held up a mirror to them and made them more aware of their thinking, their life. You know, like there are certain people you'll date that make an impact and actually make you a better person. Just because you guys break up doesn't mean those lessons are lost. But the reality is now he's going to be better prepared because of you for the next relationship. And it could very well be a healthier relationship. But a lot of that is thanks to you. So instead of viewing it as he took your soul, view it as you did a great deed. And now there are two people who may have a great relationship thanks to you, and they may end up being great parents. It's all great. It's all like a vibration that you just created that's going to just keep going. And that's a great thing for you and your karma. And you know what happens when you have good karma? The universe blesses you way beyond what he probably could have given you, and you're going to end up with someone that is aligned with the good that you're putting out in the world. You're going to have an awesome relationship.
And on the same side of that same coin, or on a different side of that same coin.
The same side.
Well, it could have been the same side.
It would have to be that or the other.
You also, he might have left you with some lessons to take into your next relationship.
Daddy lessons.
So you know what you're not going to...
With my gun.
Shout out to Winter Gordon. Winter wrote that. That's so dope.
Shout out to Winter Gordon. And kids. Never mind. I messed up. I missed
the
my
lessons.
thought.
She got the lessons from him too.
he decided to go on ahead and help you out because now you know what you will and won't take moving into your next relationship. You know how much of yourself that you should be giving, when you should be giving it. They're just like little things that you should also look to take away from the relationship as opposed to looking to continue to find ways to stay in this relationship. This person's moved on. So now it's just a matter of you figuring out how to move on. And what makes you a bad bitch? Don't be worried about this person moving on with someone else and thinking that they got the time of their life. You have to have the time of your own. So you still a bad bitch. You done fixed them to go into this new shit.
You know.
Now stay a bad bitch and go into some newer shit, okay?
And that's true.
And hopefully you'll find you an equal or greater as opposed to a lesser.
Definitely greater. Just think of instead of thinking that someone has the power to take your soul, think of the fact that you're so fly and infinite that you're the gift that keeps on giving. You're not even in his life anymore. And his girlfriend will have to know who you are to know who he is.
Especially since she gonna hear your name every time you call her.
That's so odd to me that he really did that. But I'm gonna stay away from that. But honestly, I view myself like that. Like there are a lot of relationships that didn't, like I say, it didn't work out. But I'm cool with a lot of their girlfriends now because they're like, you helped my man be better. Kudos to you.
Fuck around with Fran. She gonna
no,
be Mr.
it's true, and I think that's cool because that's just Mr. Your soul is the gift that keeps on giving, and it will never stop. And you're just in the space now where it feels like a bad thing, but you know how it always is. Once you get over it, you look back and you'll be like, "Thank God I got out of that situation." You know, like.
Man.
All you have to do,
and you'll be so thankful you dodged that bullet, and God, just move that out the way.
Think about all the times that nigga hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the times that he lied to you with somebody else. Think about all the times that he got on your nerves, all the times his breath stunk. Think about all the times that his dirty shit-stained underwear was sitting on the bathroom floor. Think about all the times that he didn't wring the towel out and left too much water sopping in the towel. Think about all the times that he didn't do the dishes. Think about all his feet. Think about everything about him that got on your nerves when he was short on the bills and all. Think about all of that. That's what will keep you away. The reasons that you left. And on a petty note, she's dealing with all of that. I was waiting for this one. She's dealing with everything that you hated dealing with. So you don't ever have to feel like he moved on and he's happy and you still sitting there
now.
Stuck on zero. They over there getting into the same arguments that you and him got into.
That's
probably
so real.
Worse because he's trying her. Because when you get with somebody new, you're like, okay, I'm not taking none of the shit I took with that old person. So let me let this new person know at the gate, like, what's okay and what's not. So he's trying her ass every time they get into an argument. They're having a horrible relationship. And you should find joy in that. So, that's what will keep you away from going back. You think about all the things that got you away from there.
Thoughtfully, you should find joy in that.
That's it. And why would you want to look pressed like you care about what he's doing anyway? Look, but don't touch. And that goes for the like button and all that. You just look. You lurk. Of course you want to know what's going on. So you look at the pages or whatever, but you don't let him know. You just you just do better. So that's all.
Yeah, and you know what? That's true.
They ain't happy.
He very well could not have learned shit and just be... You know what? The fact that he replaced you so quickly, I don't know how much he learned, too, because that's usually a red flag, and he could very well be dragging that girl through this.
Yeah, it's almost like he pushed reset.
Yeah, he just kept...
Like, Karen, reset, and then he got a whole new Karen. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever your name is.
Yeah, when someone moves on that quickly, trust me, it hurts. I remember that happened to me. The person I told y'all I was with for 6 years, within 3 weeks, he was at a wedding with someone. Wow. 3 weeks. Do you know how sick I was? I was sick. But then I realized, and then they were over in like 3 months. You know what I mean? And then he was on to the next, always on to the next. And it was just like, I get it, bro.
That's sad.
You gotta look for it.
So give it time. Nothing makes any of that ex shit easier other than time. That's the biggest friend you'll have. Give it time, ignore the urge, and just text somebody else every time you want to text him.
And when God moves things out your way, a lot of the times he's removing pain that you don't need. View it that way. It gets better. We actually don't even have time for a second one today.
Oh, damn.
Who
would have thought we'd run out of time like this?
This week's Black business shout out of the week. We actually wanted to shout out the Rap Life. thewrap.life.com. Of course, I will have that link for you guys below on the SoundCloud. The Rap Life, they sell amazing, beautiful fabrics that you can use to create cool wraps. And the best part of their site, aside from the cute ass packaging, is that it's created, run, sold by beautiful Black women.
Yes.
And they are based out of New York, I believe. They're all young entrepreneurs, super fun, funky fabrics that match.
Good, because I want a turban.
Yeah, they have like pretty much all the different patterns and color palettes you could think of. The price ranges are awesome. And my favorite part is that they have tutorials.
Oh,
on the
because I
site.
want to know how to tie the turban.
Exactly, which I think is what they figured out was missing with a lot of these wrap companies is that people might buy the fabric and then be like, okay, now what? So I think it's cool. A lot of them have, like I said, different tutorials based on different styles and looks. And the tutorials are awesome. They're really easy to follow and comprehensive, high quality video, which is great.
All right, Fran gave him a thumbs up.
Right, and the women are beautiful, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Steele, Fran's back.
There better be every type of woman on there too.
Oh, right, inclusion. Yep. But the women are beautiful, and it's just a really cool concept. And it's awesome to pay homage to our ancestors by wearing beautiful head wraps and really knowing the cultural background behind the different types of fabrics and why they wrap it in certain ways. So check out the thewrap.life.com and send them some love. Let them know we sent you.
And get your rap on.
Stumbling with my words. Get your rap on.
Everybody get your rap on.
Hey.
Everybody get your rap on. What?
So that is the Black business shout out of the week. And that's it for our show. Do you guys have any church announcements?
I don't have church announcements, but I want to give a huge shout out to our family over at the Reed, who actually had Assante and myself at their live show in Chicago.
I wish I could have gone. Chicago is so live.
The Reed Live was an amazing time. My first cousins actually got a chance to come out and kick it and see the show.
Really?
So it was good to have family time, but great experience. Shout out to everybody that we met and hugged, took pictures with. The energy was just real and sincere. Felt good to be in the Midwest. So shout out to everybody that was in the building.
Yeah, Chicago was live and lit. So thanks, Chicago, for an amazing time. And that was with our family over at the Reed. What about you, Fran, here at the Friend Zone?
I will be in LA for an event. Funny thing is I can't say what the event is yet because the person hasn't announced it yet. I don't want to overstep. But there is an influencer that you guys love from YouTube that is having a meet and greet.
Oh my God, Cardi B.
Imagine as having a meet and greet, and I am flying out for it to be a special guest because I love her to death, and I have to be there for her first meet and greet ever. So I'll be in LA for that. I'll actually be in LA from the 11th to the 17th. So I'll be there for a while working on a couple of different projects as well. So I'll definitely let you guys know where that will be for those of you that are in LA, so you can come give me hugs and kisses.
That's right.
We can talk about herbs and flower petals and oils. So hopefully I get to see your beautiful faces. And that's it. I can't think of anything else that's coming up.
I don't have any church announcements.
Yep. So that's it for this week's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we love you for listening.
Shout out to Louis York for our wonderful theme music. We're so grateful.
Right.
And that's it, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Bye.